Hello children, I am Rekanjali. Today I will teach you Social Science History Unit 6. That is the First War of Indian Independence 1857. Now let us learn in detail. That is under this headings I am going to teach you reasons for the first Indian freedom struggle. Number 1, political reasons. Second, economic reasons. Third, administrative reasons. Fourth, military reasons. Now let us learn everything in detail. Now introduction to this chapter I'll give. In order to extend British rule over India, the British brought in policies of subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. I'm recalling all the policies introduced by British. As a result, numerous states became part of the British Empire. This made many Indians unhappy. People were also upset with the administration of the British. This unhappiness erupted in the form of a major protest against the British in 1857 that you are going to learn. Many of the Indian historians termed this as First Indian Freedom Struggle, but the English historians termed it as the Sepoy Mutiny. Now, I told you that under these headings there is a political reasons I will explain. Number 1, that is, due to the introduction of doctrine of lapse, many Indian kings lost their kingdoms to the British. By implementing the doctrine of lapse, the British annexed the kingdoms of Satara, Jaipur, Jhansi and Udaipur. Thousands of soldiers who were employed by the displaced rulers lost their livelihood. That means they lost their jobs. Introduction of the policy hurt the sentiments of the rulers who were not willing to give away their ancestral kingdoms to a foreign company. Unable to bear the interference of the British, many Indian rulers like the Queen of Jhansi revolted against them. Now this is over. Now next I will proceed to the economic causes. The economic conditions of the Indians deteriorated under the British rule because industrialization in England ruined Indian cottage industries. British started importing the commodities from England and started selling in the Indian market. So Indian customers, they stopped buying Indian goods, started buying the foreign goods which were very much durable, attractive, colorful, though it was a bit costly. Next, the local weavers lost their market for their goods due to the import of machine-made goods into India. The introduction of Zamindari system resulted in the exploitation of peasants. They suffered due to the heavy taxation which drove them into utter poverty. In addition, an Inam Commission was set up by the British to confiscate lands from rich landlords who had received tax-free land from Indian rulers to enhance their income. That confiscation means taking away. See, when the kings, they gave few lands as gift to the landlords. That's hereditarily many generation past. So saying that, that's a gift. So in the pretext of taking away the gift, British taken away all the lands which were gifted by the rulers to the landlord. That is one reason. Now next one, the religious feelings of soldiers. The Indian sepoys in the British army faced discrimination. Indian sepoys were not given salary, status and promotion to higher ranks as was given to British soldiers. A new clause was passed by the British, according to which Indian sepoys could be posted anywhere in any part of India and even abroad also. They were unhappy because it was against their religious beliefs. Now next one, the administrative reasons. The British brought in many civil and criminal laws into effect, but in the implementation, there were a lot of partiality. Laws applied to Indians in a different manner. English became the language of the court. The English judges gave judgments in favor of the English citizens of India. People did not like the new laws. That's the one thing. Now next one. The introduction of the new Enfield rifles that had greased cartridges was the immediate cause of the revolt. The sepoys had to bite off the greased paper to load the cartridge into the rifle. A rumor was spread that the paper was greased with the fat of cows and the pigs. The Hindus worship cow as a sacred animal, and Muslims consider pigs as unholy or unclean animal. The sepoys felt that it was a deliberate movement by the British to hurt the sentiments of both Indians and Muslim soldiers. Now next, this rumor caused lot of unrest in Barrackpur military soldiers. When the soldiers were directed to load the bullets to the gun by chewing off a part of bullet, the soldiers refused to do it. The soldiers of Barrackpur revolted against the British officers. A soldier named Mangal Pandey shot dead a British officer. Mangal Pandey was arrested immediately, and after a trial he was hanged to death in public. This is a military cause. Now next, the spread of mutiny. Meerut was a major British military base. The Indian soldiers stationed here refused to use the bullets of the new guns. Many soldiers were arrested. This led to mutiny in Meerut. The soldiers barged into the prison and unreleased the imprisoned soldiers. This became the seed for the Indian freedom movement. A group of soldiers reached Delhi from Meerut. They entered the Red Fort and declared the Mughal king Bahadur Shah II as the Emperor of India. Due to various reasons, the protesting soldiers reached Delhi. The protest became unintensified. They spread like a wildfire to Delhi, Kanpur and Jhansi. Nana Sahib of Kanpur rose in revolt. Tantia Tope was his assistant. In Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai provided leadership to the revolt. Tantia Tope came to the support of Rani Lakshmi Bai after the fall of Kanpur to the British. Later, the protest spread to Lucknow, but finally Lucknow fell into the British. Now freedom struggle spread to the south of river Yamuna. This influenced the soldiers of Rani Lakshmi Bai. Rani Lakshmi Bai, who was angered by the doctrine of lapse, declared war on British. But she was captured, in Gwalior. She died a heroic death while battling the British in another battle. Even today, Rani Lakshmi Bai has a special place in the annals of Indian freedom struggle. Now next, results of the mutiny. Now, though many kings, queens and soldiers, they struggled hard to drive out British, it became utter failure. The reasons for the failure of mutiny: number one, it did not cover every part of India. Second, it was mainly concentrated on the issues of the rights of kings and queens rather than liberation of the country. Third, as it was not a planned mutiny. Now, next, the results of the mutiny. The governance of East India Company came to an end. The governance of British government started. The administration of India was handed over to Secretary of the Indian Affairs of the British Parliament. The Queen of British passed a declaration in 1858. The declaration are as follows. The agreements entered by the company with the local kings were accepted. Non-pursuance of regional expansion, providing a stable government for Indians, equality before the law, non-interference of the government in religious issues of Indians, and practicing religious tolerance. In the end, the British realized that until they command the love and affection of Indians, ruling India would be a difficult proposition. The inability to listen to the voice of Indians was considered as the main reason for the violence. Hence, they decided to involve the Indians in the process of legislation and implemented policy of association. The first War of Indian Independence is like a guidepost of future struggles. This also outlined the importance of seeking alternative channels to pursue future struggles against the British. Now, by this I completed the Indian War of Independence 1857, children. Now there are a few questions I am going to ask you. Number one, who called 1857 First War of Indian Independence? Second, who was the British Prime Minister when the First War of Indian Independence broke out in 1857? Third, what were the immediate causes of First War of Indian Independence? Fourth, who won the War of Indian Independence 1857? Last one, why did the Indian Mutiny fail? This is very important question. They will ask you in the examination, why did the Indian Mutiny fail? This is a very important question, children. Often it repeated. Now by this I will wind up the class. Now I think that I hope that all of you understood the lesson. Now next class I will meet you with other chapter of history or economics. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.